How's it going, guys? Grimsie42 here, and I am here to show you guys the pickups that I got from the recently passed 2015 RetroGameCon in Syracuse, New York. I got some really cool items, including one thing that I would consider a grail among many collectors, something that I never thought I'd get in my collection, but I'm definitely excited to have. And without further ado, let's go. Alright guys, the first item I wanted to show you is just a simple, cheap, complete in box game I picked up from my buddy Mr. Sintastic. We actually had two tables right next to each other at the convention. We had a pretty decent spread, but I will show you guys what I got from him. It is a complete in box copy of NHL Stanley Cup. Nothing special, but cool to have another complete in box game in the collection. And this one here, actually, I remember having, you know, at least for the time, pretty cool 3D graphics. It had like a Mode 7 rink that would rotate around and stuff, so pretty cool, and definitely happy to get this one in the collection. The next item I also got from Mr. Sintastic, and basically how I got this is my area didn't have any, so he picked one up in his area and he just brought it for me at the show. But basically GameStop was having a sale where they were doing like 4 for $10 on specific games, and this was one of them. So believe it or not, this was only $2.50, so I am really happy to get Kirby's Epic Yarn in the collection. This one here is I guess kind of easy because you basically cannot die, and you just keep coming right back if you get taken out. So really kind of cheesy there, but still a really good game. And I would definitely say a must-have for anyone trying to get the good Wii games. So definitely look out for this one, guys. This next item I actually got from Frank from Forgotten Freshness. I had purchased it a long time ago in, actually I purchased it right around when I did the video where I pranked Mr. Sintastic with the gold NWC. I'll link that below if you guys haven't seen that yet. Definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. Very funny video. But he had this game at his store and he wasn't really willing to sell it yet because he hadn't played it himself. So I basically said, listen, I'll pay for it now. Go ahead and play it, do what you gotta do, and I'll just have Oleg pick it up for me later. And it's not as good as its previous entries in the series, but still cool to have this version. I think it's the newest version of this series, and it's Golden Axe Beast Rider. And basically this is a 3D beat 'em up, and the graphics are really impressive, but it's just not the greatest game ever. Pretty hard to find though. I don't see this very often. It was by Sega, obviously, so really cool to get this in the collection. I think I got this for like $5, so pretty damn good deal too. This next one I also got from Frank. This is a bit of a weird story. Basically, this isn't a new game, but you might as well say it is. At the Midwest Gaming Classic, I actually picked up this game, and it basically was a little roughed up, but it at least worked. So I'll go ahead and show you guys that one, and it's Grindstormer. Sorry about the light there. And I'll show you guys, first off, it was not complete, and hopefully you can see the cartridge was really beat up. But this other one that I got here, this was basically Frank's copy, and unfortunately, Grindstormer is very notorious for the boards going out on them, so his copy no longer worked. However, his copy was in like really good shape. So basically what I did was I purchased his box and manual and cart shell off of him and completely upgraded my copy. So as you can see, very clean. I even reflect the light off that one on purpose this time. And it's got the manual in there, and then also cartridge is super clean. So basically I put my working board inside of his really clean stuff. I'm gonna get that cart of the previous one back out to him just so he can remember to get one. But really cool to have a really clean and complete Grindstormer in the collection. Alright guys, this next item here is something I've been looking for quite some time. It is not something that's really worth anything. It's a pretty undervalued game in my opinion, though. It's very hard to find. I really never see it, especially complete. And my buddy Nate of the Sprite Lovers actually found this copy, and like the little punk that he is, he actually traded it to somebody else, and that was Chris Lake, and that's another buddy of mine. He actually was selling it at the convention, so I got this for $10, not the worst deal in the world. I was alright with it, and it is a complete copy of Go Hypergrind, and it's an Atlas title, one of the few on the GameCube. And this one is complete, really good shape, so definitely happy to get another GameCube game and a complete one at that. Coming up to the end here, guys, just a few more things, and I assure you the last one is definitely the best one. This one here is another instance, kind of like Grindstormer. I actually already had this game complete, but the cover art was just completely shit. It was like totally water damaged. and I just really wanted to upgrade it. So basically I was able to, I paid $15 just for the case, and I think that's a pretty good deal. It is a really clean case for Contra Hard Corps, and as you can see, I now have a clean, complete copy. And this is the clamshell version, obviously, which was made in Japan. There is a definitely less desirable Majesco version that will come in the cardboard, so, and have a black and white manual. So definitely this really next cool game here is something that I have been looking for a extremely long time, and I could not believe the condition that the one I found was in. It is another Atlas title. And basically a little backstory for you guys. The game is Tail Concerto, and or Concerto, or I think it's Tail Concerto. Anyways, basically the story behind this one is actually sealed, and I'm really not a sealed collector. I like to be able to play my games, and I definitely don't want to be that guy that opens up a sealed game from like 15 years ago. So basically, just to throw it out there, if anyone has a mint, and I mean mint copy of this game, and is a sealed collector, we could probably work out a trade. I would prefer to do it in person, but I'm just putting it out there. Definitely something that I really don't want to keep. I'd like to get an open one just so I have it to play. But anyways, I got this off of Pete Dorr, and how the story goes is basically Pete had a booth there, and I had noticed he had this, and he had $124 on it, I think, something like that. And basically what happened was he had a little piece of paper above where he had this that said anything on this table is 20% off. So I wound up getting this for under $100, and believe it or not, open copies of it go for $100. So I thought that, you know, for under $100, a sealed copy of a game that I really wanted in the collection was a good deal. I definitely paid a lot for it, but I think it was worth it. So definitely happy to get this one in the collection. Alright guys, coming up to the last actual game, because the next item I'm going to show you is not a game after this. This game here I actually got for a price that I will not disclose, and if you can see the shirt here, I actually got this from the BadGraFx Gamers booth, and they were actually fortunate enough to film how I was able to obtain this game, so I'm going to go ahead and link their channel below. I believe the video that will represent how I got this game is probably going to come out maybe a week or so after this video is released. So once that happens, I'll link that video below also, and I'll also put an annotation here if you're not on mobile. If you're on mobile, I think there's like a little thing up there, but I'm still not too sure on how to figure that out yet. But anyways, guys, the game that I was talking about is something that I'm really happy to have in my collection, and I had the box and manual already, so it's complete now, and it's Mega Man Soccer, and it's a really clean copy. Basically, Buzzy and Jay, the guys at the BadGraFx Gamers, really took care of me, and you'll see, actually, it was a better deal for them than me if you really weigh the pros and cons, but I was really happy to get this in the collection, and once again, big shout out to the BadGraFx Gamers. I will link them below so you can check them out. Really funny guys, and hopefully that video that they release on the convention comes out soon. That way you guys can get a good laugh at my expense, because it was definitely a funny moment. Alright guys, last and certainly not least, I have one more item to show you. Again, I would put this at a Grail level. Hopefully you guys are going to be as absolutely surprised and amazed at it as I was when I was finally able to get it. Basically, this item belonged to my buddy Chris Lake, and it's one of those things where, you know, I never thought he would get rid of it. It's something that is really cool, and I remember there was a time, I don't know, a couple months ago, where he was saving up and he was trying to put some money together, and he actually let me know it was for sale, and unfortunately we were a little off on each other for price. I was, you know, about $50 away from where he wanted to be, and neither of us wanted to budge. But basically, a couple weeks ago, he hit me up and said, hey, listen, I think your price is fair. I'll make your price. If you want to meet me at the convention, you can pick it up there. And yes, finally, I was able to grab this. And without further ado, as I like to say, I give you guys, and this is vintage, even though I don't like that word, a World of Nintendo sign. And this thing is frigging sweet. As you can see, it's big, and it is also two-sided. Definitely, as you can see by the reflection, really cool, really shiny, pretty good condition. I mean, it's got a few dings and nicks on it, but something that I am absolutely amazed to have in my collection. This thing is friggin' sweet, and I am super happy to have this. This is one of the things that I felt my collection was missing. You know, I've got a ton of games and stuff, but I really don't have a lot of cool display pieces like this, so I had my eyes out for one of these for a very long time, and thankfully I was able to get this one, so definitely happy. Overall, the convention was amazing. I actually have another video I'll link down below of Mr. Sintastic's rendition of the convention. It'll actually show you what the show was like. It'll show you part of the panel him and I did, and I think that's the only way you can get that. And in addition, it'll show you other cool stuff at the convention, so definitely recommend you guys check that out also. Anyways, this thing is freaking sweet. I hope you guys think it is as sweet as I do. I'm super glad to have this bad boy in the collection, and this will close the video. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know if there's anything you've picked up recently, as always, and until next time, guys, take care.